The night Lena moved into that old apartment on the edge of town, the rain was relentless, almost like it was trying to warn her away. The place had been empty for months, locked up tight after the last tenant just disappeared. The second she crossed the threshold, a chill snaked around her, an icy draft that felt deliberate, as if it was sizing her up. Her eyes scanned the living room, dusty and shadowed, and landed on something that wasn't in the online pictures. A door. Tucked away in a corner, with no handle, just a single, small, round keyhole staring out like a black eye. She tried to ignore it, chalking it up to the late hour and the exhaustion of moving. But that night, sleep was a luxury she couldn't afford. Whispers woke her. At first, she dismissed them as the wind and rain, the old building settling. But then, the whispers formed a word. Her name, Lena. It was soft, insistent, like someone breathing right at the nape of her neck. The sound made every hair on her arm stand on end. She spent the next day unpacking, trying to shake the feeling of being watched, but the silent door in the corner drew her in. Curiosity became an itch she couldn't scratch. And that's when she found it. While wiping down the underside of the grimy kitchen table, her fingers brushed against a piece of tape. Stuck to it was an old, ornate key. Her heart hammered against her ribs. She knew, without a doubt, where it belonged. With a trembling hand, she walked to the door. The key slid into the lock with a sickeningly perfect click. The door didn't swing open, it groaned a low, painful sound, revealing a space that shouldn't exist. It was a tiny, windowless room, no bigger than a closet. The air inside was stale and heavy, thick with the smell of dust and something else. Something like old fear. The walls were a nightmare. They were covered, floor to ceiling, in scratches. Not random marks, but frantic, desperate scrapes, as if hundreds of fingernails had tried to claw their way out. In the absolute center of this suffocating space sat a small, dusty mirror on a rickety stand. Lena leaned in, expecting to see her own frightened face. But the reflection wasn't hers. A pale woman with hollow, dark eyes and matted hair stared back. Her lips were cracked and bloodless, and they were moving, silently forming a name over and over. Lena. Pure, primal terror seized her. She slammed the door shut, fumbling to lock it, the key clattering to the floor. She ran, stumbling back into the living room, her breath coming in ragged gasps, but the whispering wasn't trapped in the room anymore. It followed her. It was louder now. No longer a soft breath but an angry, guttural hiss that seemed to come from every direction at once. She glanced at the hallway mirror, hoping for a reassuring glimpse of her own reflection. But the hollow-eyed woman was there instead, her face pressed against the glass, her silent screams now audible in Lena's mind. Every reflective surface in the apartment became a prison. The polished toaster, the dark screen of her phone, even a puddle of rainwater on the windowsill, they all held the same horrifying image. The shadows in the corners of the room no longer sat still. They stretched and writhed, reaching for her like grasping fingers. It was in that moment of absolute dread that the horrifying truth crashed down on her. The previous tenant hadn't vanished. She was still here. She had been waiting all this time. Trapped in every reflection, echoing in every whisper. And now, as Lena felt a coldness spread not around her, but asterisk inside asterisk her, she knew the woman had found her new home. She was in Lena herself. Thank you so much for joining me for this chilling tale.